Welcome, and thank you for joining us today as we talk about the future of luxury at eBay. We are so happy you're here. My name is Nina Skol, and I am the Director of Jewelry, Handbags, and Accessories.
And I'm Kristina Driggs, the head of watches in the US, and I've been at eBay for as long as some of you. I'm an avid eBay buyer and seller and a member since 1999. I'm also a watch enthusiast, and I'm here because of the community that eBay creates for collectors like us. And we're glad that you tuned in to this session because we have a lot of great topics to cover, like category and industry updates, best practices to sell more, getting ready for holiday, and giving a preview of what we're going to see in the future of luxury.
Now we are going to talk through updates from the luxury category. Let's start with our mission. We have a mission here at eBay to be the premier, trusted, global marketplace for luxury, delivering an elevated experience as a destination for brand partners, businesses, and consumers to buy and sell. And we're well on our way. Let's start with what is luxury. We define it as accessories over a certain price point. Our focus has been jewelry at $300 and above, and handbags and watches at $500 and above. Resale has become an integral part of the overall luxury industry as consumers, especially Gen Z audiences, look to be more sustainable and revive vintage and pre-loved fashions. We are amplifying this trend with influencer content, in-person events like the Luxury Exchange that we did in New York last year, and our successful marketing campaign, Everyone Deserves Real.
And this is the case on eBay as well. We have over 1 million listings across these categories, where 60% of the watches, over 50% of handbags, and over 30% of jewelry listings were pre-owned in 2022. And luxury continues to be a sector with a lot of room for growth, between 5 to 10% in the US this year, according to McKinsey, and has been making headway digitally, especially for pre-owned goods, accounting for about $24 billion. And eBay is well known for being the place to find almost anything, especially pre-owned items. We were the originators of bringing this concept online, and we continue to shape this industry and remain one of the top marketplaces for in-demand goods, like hard-to-find vintage collectibles or new sold-out releases. Trends that we're seeing driving growth are high-value accessories, priced $2,000 and above, and we've seen an increase in Gen Z and millennial customers who skew towards more unisex styles. And some items are always on trend, such as branded inventory from Rolex to Tiffany, and of course, Louis Vuitton. List your whole range of products, including high-value retail items. And speaking of high-value retail items, let's pause for a quiz. What do you think is the highest sold item sold in luxury for the first part of the year? What do you think it's sold for? I'm just curious to hear your thoughts. Put them in the chat. We'd love to hear your guesses. Now let's find out.
As we continue to build our authenticity guarantee program in jewelry, we see high-value sales climbing. Here are our top jewelry selling items, including a Tiffany & Co. diamond engagement ring for $80,000. Cartier is another favorite brand, with customers being drawn to an array of silhouettes, including rings, necklaces, bracelets, and more. Within handbags, high-value Birkin and Kelly bags continue to become their own asset class, as scarcity and demand continue to increase. Buyers come to eBay each day to source these hard-to-find bags. Chanel deserves an honorable mention as well, as the classics and seasonal novelty are always top styles. I can't wait to see what tops the list for the second half of the year as we move into holiday.
And watches has seen some historic sales this year, including our second highest sale of a watch ever, a $315,000 Richard Mille. And the Rolex 11608 showed up twice within our top 5, and it also made our top 6 position, so it is a very well-trending item. And we sold an A. Lange and Sonnet above $100,000 for the first time. So we're just so proud of what we've been able to do for the first part of the year, looking forward to the second part. So as you just saw, our top 15 luxury items alone did over 1 million from January through June of 2023. Authenticity Guarantee is instilling trust with our buyers, and they're purchasing higher priced goods because of this. So if you don't list it, it can't sell. We encourage you to bring all of your items to eBay, especially high-value merchandise. And since we mentioned Authenticity Guarantee, we want to spend some time talking through this program and other best practices. Authenticity Guarantee is available on qualifying watches priced $2,000 and above as an included service with purchase. And the same service is available on watches priced $1,000 to $2,000 for $80 paid for by the buyer.
Authenticity Guarantee is available for top handbag and jewelry brands priced $500 and above, as well as select fine jewelry and precious metals. For all categories, there is a multiple point inspection process where the item and collateral are reviewed for authenticity as well as the condition, being cross-referenced with the item listing description. Now we'd like to share some tips on how to help you prevent returns and ensure that your item passes our multi-point inspection during authentication. Be careful how you list an item, especially if you say new and there is visible wear and tear. If there are defects, scratches, stains, etc., make sure you write this in the item specifics and also take good photos. If this is a full-time business for you, consider hiring a specialist from the industry to review merchandise before purchasing or listing your product. Test your items where possible, like doing a time test in watches and metal purity tests on jewelry, and disclose variances within the listing. Once you have secured your inventory and listed it, you need to sell it. The luxury market can be very volatile. Utilize Terapeak to monitor prices on similar styles and adjust to maximize conversion. If your prices are too high, consider using store coupons and offers. If too low, adjust as needed and consider using promoted listings to increase your visibility. Consider widening your customer base by selling internationally. If you don't want to figure out customs, look into eBay International Shipping, which covers goods up to $2,000. On the topic of promotions, it's never too early to start talking about the biggest promotional time of the year. The holidays are right around the corner, and we want you to be ready for success. Let's now share some tips to ensure you have the best selling season yet. Source deep SKU, especially in jewelry. List top sought-after gifts like diamond studs, tennis bracelets, small leather goods, and classic handbag and watch models. Note our estimated shipping cutoff this year will be 12/16. Holiday gift guides will be featured throughout the site, showing hard to find as well as best value. Take care to list with clean white backgrounds in your photos in order to increase conversion. So we just gave some of the top tips for the holidays, but what about the most important part? What to sell? Here are some recommendations of consistent popular jewelry brands and styles that do well all year long, but especially during the peak sales days like Black Friday. Tiffany, Yerman, and Van Cleef top the list. In handbags, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, and Hermes continue to top the list, but some new top brands are emerging like Loewe and Dior. With brands like LV pushing scarcity by enforcing wait lists for styles like the best-selling Neverfull tote, buyers are flooding to eBay to find these top bags.
And for watches, Rolex always performs well, but we see watch collectors branching out to even more brands. The Omega Speedmaster has been on trend, and customers keep coming to eBay to buy moose watches. Smaller independent brands or micro brands are also gaining in popularity. Make sure that you're stocking up for important moments. Looking ahead, there's National Handbag Day in October, and of course, Black Friday. Run store promotions and coupons throughout December, and especially Green Monday, eBay's holiday, Retail Week 50. Plan for your next year as well using this calendar. So we talked about industry updates and category updates, trends and best practices. Now we're going to cover what's coming in luxury. We have exciting news that wire transfer is now available for Authenticity Guarantee luxury goods between $5,000 to $50,000. So your buyers now have more ways to pay. We also just rolled out a new feature called Ask a Watch Specialist. This is a chat feature available on luxury watches priced $5,000 and above for select brands initially, where customers can ask questions like, how does Authenticity Guarantee work? Or how can I pay? We also continue to expand Authenticity Guarantee coverage within handbags and jewelry to bring more trust to sellers and buyers.
And we continue to innovate with the introduction of live shopping. eBay Live has been gaining traction with luxury shoppers and enthusiasts who tune in weekly to watch and shop. Our new shopping platform offers a new and engaging way for sellers to interact with their customers, as well as build a loyal following on eBay. This interactive shopping experience is taking selling and buying to the next level. Live shopping is the future of e-commerce, especially for Gen Z and millennial customers. The interactive experience is fun, engaging, and spurs impulse purchases. You will be able to reach new buyers quickly and drive exposure to your items. You may be wondering, how can you get started with eBay Live? All you need to do is fill out a seller interest form on the platform, and our team will review your application. If you meet our criteria, you'll schedule an onboarding training session, and our category teams will partner with you to ensure you're set up for success.
We'd like to hear from you. Here's a list of shows that we're going to be attending this year and going into next year. And we also recommend that you follow us on social platforms and connect with us at any time, any day through social platforms.
We hope today's session was helpful to see how eBay is continuing to invest in luxury. We are partnering with sellers like you to become the premier global marketplace to buy and sell.
Thank you so much for attending and contributing to the luxury business here at eBay. We appreciate you and wish you success for the rest of 2023 and beyond.
Hi, welcome to eBay Open 2023. I'm Tirath Kamdar, the Global General Manager of Luxury at eBay. It encompasses handbags, accessories, jewelry, watches, all these amazing, great luxury items across our global markets. I'm very excited to have Caroline here today, one of our amazing sellers, who's also called the Birkin Fairy. Caroline, welcome to eBay. I think this is your first time at eBay.
It is.
Why don't you love for you to introduce yourself to the audience?
Thank you. I'm Caroline Bui. I'm a luxury salesperson on eBay and specializing in super premium luxury handbags, Chanel, Hermes, Dior, and everything else you love.
Well, Caroline, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you being this an amazing seller. And there's so many sellers here that are currently watching us, and they're going to love your advice. So one of the areas is social media. Social media has just become so hot with all these different platforms out there, and it's a great way to reach the next generation of consumers. And you've done a wonderful job building credibility in social media. I'd love for you to speak to that.
Thank you. Yes, social media has been really exciting for me. It's been a great way for me to really clientele. I think of social media in that aspect, and so I'm really focused on creating an experience so when people do come to my social sites, they're interested in beautiful images, they're getting inspired, they may be introduced to new products, and additionally, it creates comfortable conversation where they feel they can reach out to me with any questions. It's a very safe space for them, as well as a platform really to lead them to a purchase. So it's really another distribution channel for me as well, and it does create sales.
Absolutely. I think people should definitely go check out your social media profile. I think you have an amazing following. And credibility and trust building is so important in this day and age, like it's always been. How do you or what advice would you have for our sellers to go about building credibility and trust on their own?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, to really build credibility, you have to be truly authentic. You really have to showcase your expertise and deliver it in a way that it's really meaningful for buyers and maybe other sellers, and just to inspire people. So I would say, really get on social media or other methods that you are comfortable with. Really understand who you're speaking to, and just keep getting feedback, keep listening, and always be learning.
Absolutely. Well, we're on to some interesting peak holiday seasons coming up. But there's so many other shopping periods throughout the year, and trust and credibility play big roles during that time. What are some of the peak times that you most look forward to, and how do you tend to operate during those times?
Yeah, so surprisingly, my peak times are after the holidays. It's typically when a client has maybe not received the item that they've wanted for the holidays, and they'll go out and purchase it themselves, or they've received some cash as a gift, and they'll pick some really special items to purchase for themselves. Additionally, bonuses when they're coming out, that's a great time to make that special purchase.
Well, never a boring time to buy a new handbag, right? It's throughout the year. And during these times when people are looking for handbags, I'm sure condition is such a critical piece, right? They want to make sure they're getting a quality condition, especially when you're buying a pre-owned handbag. How how do you go about condition grading? What advice and tips would you have for the audience around condition grading?
Yeah, sure. It's probably one of the most important parts of an eBay listing. You really want to be super detailed, everything from scratches to using the correct color names to defining size properly. Every little detail counts. And I think where you can really attract buyers is really going a little over the top, and even talking about things like a box that's included and describing the conditions of that box, because there's nothing worse than receiving a beautiful luxury handbag with the expectation of a box and the top is cracked. So you want to make sure that you're setting all those expectations with unwrinkled tissue, boxes in perfect condition, and things like that.
Well, that's amazing, especially, with Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Birkins. There's so many more handbags in the pre-owned market. Those tips are very valuable. And I think you've given some great advice to our sellers today. When you are in social media, how do you really clientele, build that connection with your consumers by answering different questions and just staying on trend with storytelling, right? I believe on the peak times, never a boring time to buy a handbag. As long as you're optimized on building your trust, your story, and credibility, it's great throughout the year. And exciting to hear you can uniquely differentiate yourself by highlighting a box or the tissue and what are unique aspects of condition. So some amazing tips. Well, Caroline, there's a lot going on in your world right now, especially in the handbag market. What are you most looking forward to?
Yeah, I've just been really paying attention to what's going on in the marketplace, what technologies are new, what things are being introduced, how sellers are operating. Obviously, being here has been a great inspiration. Listening and talking to other sellers, it's been great.
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for being here on eBay's headquarter campus today, and really appreciate your time. And I think you've given some amazing tips to our sellers today. And for the sellers, at eBay here, especially in the luxury area, we're always here for you. So if you have any questions, anything at all, we want to be helpful and we want your business to be successful and grow together with eBay, similar to exactly what we're doing with Caroline. So again, thank you so much, everyone, and thanks for joining eBay Open 2023.